and I appreciate it so much, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
I would say thank you, DAR, because you have built not only a school, you have built a community that will continue to thrive for many generations and years to come.
KDS senior and musician Lindsay Ashley will be able to go to college thanks to the DAR.
It's inspired me, I guess, to encourage other people and to make a difference, or just be a good citizen.
You can reach out and help a child to make a difference in their lives. They in turn will make a difference in the life of our country.
Today's daughters work with schools and literacy programs across the country. They recognize young people with scholarships and good citizenship awards. These New Jersey students are winners of the DAR annual essay contest, which helps children learn about history. DAR education programs also go far beyond the classroom.
Welcome to the Pink Ribbon House. You ladies are in for a special treat today.
Texas chapters gave tours of this designer-decorated Pink Ribbon House in Houston, owned by Royce Hassel and his wife Sylvia, a breast cancer survivor. The tours raised more than $500,000 for medical research.
We can help educate members and other people about the prevention and early detection for breast cancer, and just in general help them know more about how breast cancer can affect their lives.
To have them volunteer so many hours for free, it was a big deal. It was very touching to me.
The DAR is dedicated to preserving America's historic landmarks. Places like Meadow Garden in Augusta, Georgia. Built around 1790, this was the home of George Walton, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence.
It's important that we preserve this history and that we learn to appreciate our past, and it will hopefully give us courage and insight to move forward and to be better citizens.
Georgia Daughters not only maintain this property, but they've also launched a campaign to attract tours so more people can learn about George Walton's contributions.
And this is one way we can teach our children that there were men and women who were willing to sacrifice their homes and their lives and their property to give us the freedom that we have.
The DAR has preserved hundreds of local properties and placed markers at historical sites across the nation. Its library also preserves one of the largest collections of genealogy records. To join the DAR, women must trace their lineage to a Revolutionary War patriot, any soldier or civilian who aided the cause. But with the help of DAR genealogists and the Internet, getting started on the research isn't hard.
We discover new patriots every day, patriots of all backgrounds. And there are a lot of people here who are willing to help you find what you need.
You can go to them, ask them for anything. You can share. It's just beautiful.
For Tennessee daughter Pazetta Millette, it turned out to be a fascinating journey of discovery.
I was so excited. I couldn't sleep.
Not only did she find relatives she never knew, but she also uncovered family history lost for generations. History that can now be passed on to her children and grandchildren.
To see what your ancestor did, the contribution that they made, history just comes to life.
Today's daughters are not only preserving the past, they also care about America's future. These seal pups were rescued along the California coast. Marine mammal centers treat these injured animals and return them to the wild. It's one of many conservation programs the DAR supports. However they choose to serve, today's daughters are committed to their mission.
To me personally, it means making an impact in my community and being right there and just learning and growing. And it's just been an amazing experience in my life.
Like many women, Lindsay Whitty is balancing the demands of a busy life. She joined a chapter that meets on Saturdays to accommodate members' needs.
So everybody can find a niche and everybody can find their particular place that they fit in the best.
I just think as a young woman especially, you need an outlet for yourself. You need something to do that will make you feel good about yourself. You'll find good friends, and you'll be able to also give back.
I'm today's DAR.
I'm today's DAR.
I'm today's DAR.
For today's daughters, DAR membership offers so many rewards.
You will meet ladies who you will become friends with for the rest of your life. And you just make friends all over the United States and even all over the world.
Their friendship and knowing them will add a new layer and a new dimension to your life.
This is really what's kept me going. It's what keeps me young. It keeps me interested.
We have a lot of fun, let me tell you, we really do.
It fills your heart and soul. Every little pocket of your heart and soul can be filled by something that DAR offers you.
And to know that you are united with 100,000 plus women, it's incredible.
I'm today's DAR.
I'm today's DAR.
I'm today's DAR.
Today's DAR is carrying on its tradition of patriotism and service, giving its best to America.
We are fortunate to be Americans, and it is up to us to continue the legacy that our founders began and to make this a better country.
Hi, I'm Mike Pacini, Community Affairs Director for Boulder Disposal. Citywide no-sort recycling is here. Boulder City now has expanded a citywide comprehensive no-sort recycling program. It is so simple to use and proven to increase recycling results virtually overnight. Welcome to the Boulder City Recycling Center, where thousands and thousands of tons of your recyclables are diverted from being buried in our landfill. You can now recycle at home, at work, and at school. The new recycling program is totally easy, so do your part, aim for zero waste. How easy is it, you ask? You throw all your recyclables into one bin and you're done. And it's that simple. Just put your cart at the curb before 6 a.m. every Wednesday to ensure pickup.
Recycling is now available for single-family and multifamily residences, including apartments, mobile home parks, and RV parks.
The new program includes businesses, schools, and parks too. So no matter where you are in Boulder City, you can do your part.
The industry term for no-sort recycling is single stream. In its simplest terms, what used to be multiple streams of recyclables needed to be separated by the homeowner in advance of pickup. The no-sort method combines all the streams, paper, plastic, and glass, into one. All participants need to do is throw all recyclables into one container. And due to technological advances in recovering the materials, nearly all of the waste is effectively recycled. Be sure to review the No-Sort Recycling Guide brochure that came with your container to ensure proper material disposal. Recyclable guidelines are also indicated on the container lid.
Boulder City, with your continued commitment to recycling and our new BC Waste-Free No-Sort Recycling Program, we are confident we can more than double the amount of recyclables kept out of our landfill. All homeowners can participate in the citywide BC Waste-Free Curbside Recycling Program. Each homeowner will be provided with a green 65-gallon wheeled recycling bin.
All recycling will be collected on Wednesday every week. Place all recyclable materials in the green bin and wheel it to the curb. Remember, the green bin should have no food, yard waste, clothing, styrofoam, wax-coated cartons, or cups. It's very important to keep the green bin for our recyclables only. Once your green bins have been emptied, the recyclables are trucked to the Boulder City Recycling Center and unloaded.
It's here at the Boulder City Recycling Center where your recyclables are loaded into containers and trucked to the main recycling center in North Las Vegas. So no matter where you are in Boulder City, you can do your part. Aim for zero waste. For those residences requiring additional recycling bins, please email us at contact@bcwastefree.com or visit us online at bcwastefree.com. Improved recycling is vital to the future of our city and our planet. Aim for zero waste. I'm Mike Pacini, Community Affairs Director for Boulder Disposal, and together we'll make Boulder City cleaner and greener.
And now, another fact of Congress.
What if they had a rule at your school that was mostly good, but was missing something that would make it even better? Wouldn't you like to change or amend it? Well, amendments are an important part of what happens in Congress. A member proposes a bill that gets sent to a committee for hearings. If the committee wants to, they can vote to add amendments to the bill. This can change the original language in very important ways. If passed out of committee, the bill with the new amendments goes to the floor of Congress for action. The full House or Senate then debates this revised bill and often considers additional amendments and sometimes even amendments to amendments. It's all just part of improving the original law so it moves along in the best shape possible.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress.
Ever hear somebody stating a supposed fact when you know there has to be another side to the story? Well, getting to the truth quite often means that you have to take the time to go beyond one person's opinion and dig around for what others have to say about it. When you hear about an issue or law that you're really interested in, take the time to find out what the other side thinks about it. You may learn some things you hadn't thought of before, and then you can weigh all of that information and come up with your own opinion. Analyzing all the facts and opinions not only makes you a better informed citizen, it might give you an idea of how you can help. That helps make you a great citizen.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress.
Our country was founded on the principle of balance, that no branch of government could dominate another. For example, Congress is responsible for passing laws, but it's up to the President to okay them. The President nominates judges, but Congress must approve them. Judges can declare laws unconstitutional, but Congress can propose other ways of accomplishing the same thing. The President can veto bills passed by Congress, but Congress can override the veto. This system of power sharing is called checks and balances, but it doesn't stop there. We balance responsibilities between the federal government and state governments. We balance influence between big states and little states. The resulting system might look like a complicated maze of boxes and arrows, but it's really quite simple. That no one part of government should be allowed to get too powerful.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress.
Our country depends on citizen participation. But if you don't participate, things get messy. Think if you didn't participate at home and you didn't discuss what you wanted. Instead of getting an ice-cold soda, you'd get an ice-cold shower. Instead of playing video games, you'd be playing pinochle. And instead of playing football, you'd get stuck with a doll. If you don't participate, you don't get what you want. How do you participate as a citizen? Write your representatives a letter or send them an email. Visit their office or attend an online meeting. Study up on the issues by following the news and checking websites. Volunteer on a campaign and get your candidate elected. And when you turn 18, you can vote. The key is to find the ways that work best for you and get started.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress.
Every year, Congress must consider and debate hundreds of very important matters. Imagine what it would look and sound like if the entire Congress discussed each and every topic before it. Well, thankfully, members of both the House and Senate belong to individual committees that focus on a particular subject, like education or the environment. When a member introduces a bill that she would like to see become a law, it is immediately sent to a committee, where it is studied in detail. Committee members hear experts talk about why this particular bill is or isn't a good idea. And committees are tough graders. The vast majority of bills introduced never make it out of committee. So when you think of where the work really gets done in Congress, think committees.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. Here's a word about the word compromise, a very important congressional concept. Some people mistakenly think it means giving in or losing an argument. In the case of Congress, where there's a lot of diversity and debate, opposing points of view come face to face almost every day. By compromising, our legislators can move beyond the argument and begin working on the solutions to the problems that come before them. In fact, the idea for Congress to have two chambers was the solution to a major disagreement back in 1787 and has itself become known as the Great Compromise. This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. Have you ever made a quick decision that you wished you'd taken more time to think about? Quick decisions are often not the best decisions, especially when it comes to passing laws that affect all Americans. The U.S. Congress practices what is called deliberation when making their important decisions. Imagine if just one person made all the laws in our country, just doing whatever popped into their head. That's why there are so many steps in the legislative process, to make sure that bad ideas don't get passed in the heat of the moment. Taking the time to get the laws right is the most important thing that Congress can do. In fact, deliberation could work for you, too. This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. Back in the early days of our country, almost all of our citizens had come from Northern Europe. When a congressman from those days spoke with his constituency, by and large, he and they looked pretty much the same, and also had many shared values. Well, imagine that same member of Congress today addressing his or her constituency. The United States has become a tremendously diverse nation, with citizens from all over the world. Americans today have many different jobs, live in a variety of communities, and have different needs and interests. This creates a special challenge for today's members of Congress, as they must govern a population that has vastly different backgrounds and beliefs. Passing laws that take all of us into consideration requires patience and a willingness to seek out and listen to all of the different voices that make up our 21st century America. This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. Our government is like a big three-layer cake. We have local government, state government, and national government, often called federal government. Local government handles local issues like police, water, and building permits. State government handles issues about your state, such as education, healthcare, and recreation. Federal government handles national issues, such as national parks, the military, and space exploration. This system of dividing responsibilities among governments is called federalism. Sometimes who does what isn't that clear, yet this flexibility lets us decide whether a particular problem is best handled in local town halls, in state capitals, or by the men and women in the Congress. This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. Long before there was a Congress or a government, there were 13 colonies of people living along the East Coast, from New Hampshire to Georgia. They came from England and other countries in Europe. Over 2 million people were living here by 1775. Technically, these colonies were under British rule, but they were learning how to govern themselves, and many wanted to start a brand new country. The people who made this possible, who led the fight to freedom and founded our government, are referred to as the Founders. They boldly declared their independence from British rule on July 4th, 1776. They won the Revolutionary War and founded a new nation. And on September 17, 1787, the United States of America officially started with the signing of the U.S. Constitution. Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution states, "All legislative powers shall be vested in a Congress, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives." What the founders set up was a representative democracy, giving each of us a say in how we are governed through our elected representatives in Congress.
Brilliant!
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress.
You may wonder sometimes, who are all these people in Washington and what are they doing? Well, 535 of them are in Congress, representing you and everyone else in the country, which is just as well because there are too many of us to fit in one room anyway. Members of Congress are there to listen to us and to speak for us as they make new laws or legislate. Legislators work in either the House of Representatives or the Senate. The House is more about representing people based on how many live in each state. It has a large number of members to stay in close touch with what people back home want. The Senate is more about representing every state equally, taking a broader national view and making sure that our government doesn't rush into any bad laws. Working together, they play the most important role in our system of representative democracy. Do you know who's representing you?
It's me.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress.
Everyone knows that Congress makes laws. But just how does a bill, no, not that kind of a bill, but how does this kind of a bill, an idea for a law, become a law? First, a member of the House or Senate comes up with an idea and introduces it as a bill. Then it's carefully reviewed by the appropriate committee in Congress. If the committee approves the bill, it then needs to be passed by both the House and Senate. If they do, it goes to the President for his signature. Only then is a bill officially a law. But it's a difficult process, with less than 10% of bills introduced ever becoming law. It's not a process designed to move quickly. There are various obstacles along the way to ensure that bad ideas don't make it through.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress.
I'll bet you're one of those kids who thinks, Congress, who needs it? It doesn't affect kids at all, and certainly not me. Well, if it weren't for Congress, that beautiful stream that flows through your town would be a polluted and smelly waterway that no one would like. Instead of traveling quickly and safely on a modern interstate highway for your vacations, you would have to take bumpy old back roads. Rather than visiting one of our great national parks, you'd find yourself at just another strip mall. Are you getting the picture? And when you grow up and go to college, you can thank Congress for providing student loans or for making sure women's sports programs get the same treatment as men's. I'll bet if you did a little digging, you could find a lot more ways that the work of Congress affects your everyday life.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress.
You've probably heard the saying, you're never too old to learn. Well, here's a new one for you. You're never too young to get involved in your government. That's right, you. But how, you ask? Well, is there a particular issue in your community that you care about? A park that's too dangerous? A river that's polluted? A library that's run down? You'll be amazed how effective kids can be when they put their minds to it. Kids have started petitions, created online action networks, and even testified before legislators. Kid power, you'll never know until you try.
This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. Imagine a group of kids on the playground trying to decide what games to play without any leadership. Add leaders to the group and decisions can be made and things can get done. Congress is no different. It's a large group that needs leadership to get things done. The House of Representatives elects a Speaker of the House, whose job it is to set which bills will be voted on and to maintain order in the House. Both the House and the Senate have what are called the majority and minority leaders. They are chosen by each political party to lead their efforts in each chamber. Perhaps the best title of all goes to the majority and minority whips. Yes, whips. Their job is to make sure that the members of their party line up correctly when voting on critical issues. There are many other powerful people in Congress, particularly those who chair the many important committees. But even so, they still take their cues from the congressional leadership. This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. Voting is the easiest way to participate in our democracy. You just go to the voting booth and pick the best person for the job. Now, some people are voting Scrooges. They think their vote doesn't matter. But if you take a look at history, it tells a different story. In 1845, one vote made Texas part of the United States. In 1920, one vote gave women the right to vote. And in 2000, the presidency of the United States was won by 537 votes out of almost 6 million cast in the state of Florida. That's closer than a three-pointer at the buzzer. That's closer than just catching the school bus. That's closer than the B you just squeaked out in chemistry. If you don't vote, you have no say in what happens to our country. But when you do vote, you'll feel proud that you had a voice in choosing the people who represent you in Washington. This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. What's in a number? Take the number 65. That's how many members were in the House of Representatives in the very first Congress. And each of those 65 was responsible to only 30,000 voters back home. Today, the House of Representatives is made up of 435 members, each of whom has to represent the interests of more than 650,000 people. That means that today's members of Congress have to work much harder to reach their constituents. Of course, when there's so many of us, it's difficult for them to hear what we have to say. That makes citizen participation all the more important. One way to make sure you're heard is to join a group that shares a common interest or goal. That way, many voices become one, and that is hard to ignore. This fact of Congress is adjourned. And now, another fact of Congress. Way back in 1789, people were noticing some things our new Constitution didn't take care of. So the first Congress came up with 10 changes, or amendments, which became known as the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment is important because Congress actually told itself what it could not do. If written using today's language, the First Amendment would say, you can't pass laws that keep people from practicing their religion. You can't pass laws that keep people from speaking their minds or publishing their ideas. And you can't pass laws that stop folks from getting together peacefully to express their views to their people in government. This amendment, plus the others in the Bill of Rights, reassured the nation that the powers of their new government would have limits. As President George Washington said, the amendments strengthened our characteristic rights. This fact of
Hey, how you doing? Hey, girl, Nicole, good luck on the play tonight. You're welcome. What's up, guys? Now you're gonna make sure that you return those on Monday, right? Thank you. Oh, nice.
Quit talking to you for a second. Go ahead, get your water. Come on, let me get your water. Get out the way.
What do you guys want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
1, 2, ready, go. Gonna pull the stops, gonna make it go. Drop down, gagged and bound, just sitting down and getting nowhere. You're living on a wing and a prayer. Gonna put them things together. You know it's now or never. You're building me.
What do you guys want to do now? Okay, now you ready? Now, just like I showed you.
Yeah.
Now push in the clutch and gently shift it in the first gear.
I remember, okay.
Okay, that was good. Honey, look this way. Look this way. You're doing, honey, hit the gas a little more. Hit the gas. Oh! Hey. No! I didn't put your hands on the wheel. Hey, honey, it's okay. You're doing great. You're driving. And once you just pull over right here. That's perfect. Brake.
Thank you, Dad.
Look at this guy. What are you gonna do, kid? Go home. It's hopeless. Yeah, dude, do something with your life. Leave. You're looking stupid, man. Give it up.
Dave, it's their boss. Giving you shit is not bad. You really need time.
Hey, Shane.
back. Our contestants reached the final round, where he's faced with 3 difficult choices. Behind curtain number 1, more alcohol than your body could ever survive. Behind curtain number 2, dangerous, mind-altering drugs. And behind curtain number 3, we have your family, your friends, and your self-respect. All right, Luke, what's it gonna be? Come on, Luke. 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 You want another beer?
Oh, hey, look, this is my sister. Hey, Nicole, isn't your dad supposed to be here? He's coming. He promised. I trust him.
Campaign ad tested extremely well. I can't tell you how excited.
Sorry, I gotta go.
Showtime, guys. 1 minute.
Ayana Rancho Grande, I don't baby, Aviona Rancherita, Telegramedicia, Telegramedicia, me voy a hacer tus calzones, los que usa el ranchero. They look coming through the line. De la saca por de fuera. I look from out yonder, out where the buffalo wander. Free as an eagle flight, I'm a roping man at tight. I'm a roping man at tight. Give me my ranch and my cattle, far from the great city's rattle. Give me a big herd to battle, for I just love herding cattle. Ayana Rancho Grande, I done baby, Aviona Rancherita, Telegramedicia,
How about Katie Daly?
Oh, yeah. G. George.
Get it going.
The other G.
G. Come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Rancher is calling Katie Daly. We want to drink a good old Mountain Dew. With her old man she came from Tipperary in the pioneer days of 42. Her old man was shot in Kingston City for making his good old Mountain Dew. Come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Can't you hear us calling Katie Daly? We wanna drink a good old Mountain Dew. Wake up and pay attention, Katie Daly. I'm the judge that's gonna sentence you. All the boys in court have drank the whiskey. Tell the truth, I drank a little too. Oh, come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Can't you hear us calling Katie Daly? We wanna drink a good old Mountain Dew. Go to the village good for Katie Daly. And very soon the gates were open wide. Angels came called Katie Daly. And Trevor called Great Divide. Come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Can't you hear us calling Katie Daly? We wanna drink a good old Mountain Dew. Yeah, we wanna drink a good old Mountain Dew. Katie Daly.
This song is Worried Man Blues. It's in the key of G. Well, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. And I'm worried now. takes a worried man to sing a worried song, and I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. 21 links of chain around my leg. Oh, 21 links of chain around my leg. 21 links of chain around my leg, and on each link the initials of my name. Well, that train that I'm riding is 16 coaches long. That train that I'm riding is 16 coaches long. The train that I am riding is 16 coaches long, and the gal I love, well, she's on that train and gone. I looked down that track as far as I could see. I looked down that track as far as I could see. I looked down that track as far as I could see, and a little bitty hand was waving back at me. And it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song, and I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long.
Two is E for echo. Play it any way you want. That's what. That's the song. In constant sorrow all through his days, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen troubles all my days.
How about You Are My Sunshine?
Wow, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
I'll sing in on the chorus.
The other night, dear, as I lay still, I dreamed I held you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I'll always love you and make you cry. If you will only stay the same. But if you leave me to love another, you'll regret it all someday. For my sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Told me once, dear, you really loved me, that no one else would please me between. But now you left me to love another, and you shattered all my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
I saw the light, key of G like in George. I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. I wounded my dear Savior, and then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Oh, praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light of the Lord God. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Oh, praise the Lord, I saw the light. Well, just like a blind man, I wandered alone. Worries and fears I claimed for my own. Then, like a blind man, Jesus gave it sight. I said, praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. I said, praise the Lord, I saw the light. I was a fool to wander and stray, for straight is the gate and narrow the way. Now I have traded the wrong for the right. I said, praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. I said, praise the Lord, I saw the light. Praise the Lord, I saw the
Conversation about you in there. Yeah. When he first came.
Doing
G, guys.
Doing better when I first got here.
Heartache by the number.
All right.
Can you pick that, D?
Yeah, I reckon it, but I don't know if you can hear it from there.
Well, let's see. Okay, well, you know. Heartache number one was you left me. I never knew that I could hurt this way. And heartache number two was back again. You came back but never meant to stay.
All right.
Now I've got heartaches by the number, trouble by the score. Every day you love me, each day I love you. Yes, I've got heartaches by the